Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. After doing my spin video about what imparts spin on the ball and talking about Tour Bite 20 gauge, I decided to try it. But I also wanted one of my coaches to try it. And Coach Chris is the only one that uses the thinner string. He usually uses like a 120 or a 125, and he is a fan of Tour Bite. So I decided to secretly install it in his and not tell him. Stay tuned. All right, so I took my own racket, my new 28 blackout, and put the 20 gauge on. I took Coach Chris's too and put the 20 gauge on. So this is as thin as you get. I've never tried 20 gauge, but I know it's going to impart a lot of spin because I've tried the 19 gauge. Solinco is probably the only one, if not one of the few, like very, very few, that make it this thin. It is literally 1.05 millimeters. That is badminton string essentially. This is a poly, so it should, oh man, I mean, Tour Bite is a stiff poly. You're gonna thin it out to 20 gauge. It's gonna impart a lot of spin on this ball if you strike it in the string bed. So I strung Chris's at his normal tension, mine at my normal tension. I'm not gonna tell him though what gauge this is. We're just gonna go hit. I'm gonna say, you know, what'd you think? And hopefully we'll be pleasantly surprised. All right, so let's go knock some balls around. Maybe with a lot of spin. All right, stay tuned. All right, so we just got off the court. We had a great hitting session. I'm saying it's the strings, but Coach Chris actually hit me a lot of great balls, and I almost kept up with him today. And I'm gonna say it's the strings. Coach Chris actually likes Tour Bite. He's used Tour Bite in the past before, in the 120 and the 125, probably more on the 125 side, just because of string breakage issues. How long does 125 last you?
About 10 hours, you know, of hitting, not coaching, so actually hitting.
So roughly 2-3 sessions, string breaks.
Yep.
You do that because you rather have a livelier string versus having it go dead for the last 2-3 hours and making it not worth it, right?
Yeah, otherwise it's just a different string tension. So.
And it's a thicker, non-lively from the start string tension too.
Yep.
So Coach Chris, tell us about what you thought of this version of Tour Bite.
Okay, I really liked it. This is, Tour Bite is one of the strings I love playing with, and this one felt like it has more power than the kind of original line. This is I'm assuming this is a new version that Harry's given me. It's got a lot more power for sure, a lot more pocketing. It pockets really well. Spin too. Overall feedback of the string, you really are treated to a nice sensation every time you're hitting it. Overall ball control quality too is good. And I think at the end of the day, like when you're swinging through, it feels smooth. Did I miss anything?
I actually agree with you.
Okay.
I strung yours at 52, which is your normal tension. I strung mine at 55 on my new 28 at which is my normal tension. And when I pinged it, when I pinged it off the machine, I was like, because thinner, right? There's a little more stretch to it, so it pulls it a little further.
It's thinner?
Ooh, oops. Yeah, hold that thought, coach. So I was a little worried about it, but it brought me back to when I was in high school, when I got a fresh string job with 17 gauge synthetic at 65 or 60 pounds. It had that nice little high pitch noise. The 17 gave you more feel. The sound was like great. The feel was great. It literally brought me back to my childhood. I absolutely loved this string. The spin was easy. The energy transfer was amazing. It just kind of gave me confidence to hit with this string. I would definitely consider switching to this string, to tell you the truth. And Coach Chris doesn't know. I mean, I didn't tell him, as I told you guys. What gauge do you think that is?
Well, you said it was a thin string, so I think it's maybe a step below 17 and 18?
18. No.
19?
No.
20?
You're playing with badminton string, dude.
Whoa.
That is 20 gauge. In millimeters, it's 1.05.
Okay.
That's as thin as anybody makes in any tennis string.
It's as thin as your hair, man.
What hair?
Exactly.
Yeah, so the 20 gauge gave us outstanding feel, outstanding power, outstanding spin. I mean, aside from it possibly going to break fairly quickly, I mean, we lasted a good, I want to say hour, a little over an hour. I definitely see notching.
Yep.
Already. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's notching already on here. But, I mean, this, if you want luxury and you love poly and you love spin, try this. It may not last you, but it might be the best hour and a half of your life on the court with these poly strings called Tour Bite 20.
You said on the court.
On the court. I said on the court, didn't I?
You said on the court.
Yeah. So, guys, try this out, man. I know it's not going to last, especially if you hit hard.
Yeah.
But if you're 12 years old trying to get into, tennis or breaking those synthetics too fast, try this or try a hybrid version of this. If you're a little on the older side and you're worried about your arm, but you love the poly, right here.
Yep.
Right here, guys. Yeah, this is not going to hurt you. I didn't feel a thing except for a nice ping noise and power spin.
A lot of power. Like it just flies off. So good feedback.
Yeah. So I was wondering why Solinco made a 20 gauge. Well, now I know because it's incredible. All right. Coach Ching, thank you for letting me surprise you with the 20 gauge. Not in a shotgun form, though. In just
string form.
And giving me the best hour of my life on the court.
No, man. No.
Where can they find you, Coach Chris?
You can find me at CB Chan Tennis.
And
that's
it. Guys, try it out. 20 gauge Tour Bite. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.
What are you doing?
Hey, Coach. I'm ricing. I hurt my ankle, so ricing.
Ricing?
Ricing.
You mean rest, icing, compression, and elevation?
Rice?